Hi everyone, welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. My name is Minna Crichton. I'm the narrator of this video clip and every other video clips on my YouTube channel and on Facebook page. Today's date is the 20th of May 2025. I've decided to, when I feel I need to, I will keep my evidence in the moment because of my global court case. That's a public case because I've allowed it to go that way. So I'll just start with the usual introduction and then what is actually that's on my heart to speak today about. Okay, first of all, just want to keep in mind for those that are new on board on my channel or, on this video clip, just to get an understanding where I'm coming from. My case is, it's a personal case. I've been personally animated or inanimate. These words are only found in the criminal jurisdiction. For those that don't know what it actually means, it's another word of substitute, or the modern day word is actually substitute. The original person, and then their energy or their life is deviated or to another person. In this case, in my case, they've used relationship scams. So I'm basically dealing with my evidence, which is actually hardcore, real evidence, versus the opposing allies who, their evidence is fake, it's not true. But this here, it is a global game. So for those that don't know, I usually use posts on my channel just to get an understanding of where I'm coming from. And also most of my posts, the wordings and the words I actually use on my post are actually me interpreting the legislation to plain English for those that don't understand how the legislation works and what it actually means. But this here is a good start for this with what I've actually got on my heart. So this post here is a good start just to start off with, is just to explain I'm the original. Okay, I've been used for relationship scams. For somebody to actually home invasion a person's private life, they have to be able to do what they're doing to me. They have to be committing these kind of crimes. So the dangerous thing I've found in my finding, and historically it's been a global thing, it's not just something internal at work or internal just in my environment, in my own community at the time. It has actually always been global. Okay, so it's a conspiracy. But every year things change, circumstances change. The actual offences accumulate to very serious criminal offences. Now my case actually falls in the Crimes Acts of Crimes Against Humanity. So this is what it actually looks like. There's I've put 1, 2, 3 circles, but it's very likely there's more perpetrators than what I've actually put here. I know that they've used the call centre and the emails and then people within my environment to block. Okay, so I'm the original. So what I'm doing is I'm applying for stuff, doing everything normal, everything correct, and then I'm blocked and locked out. So that's the case of what's happened to my personal profile and all my originals. It is global. It is definitely slavery or slave-like. If you watch my other clips, I've gone over the laws about all that. I won't be repeating that today because that's not on my heart to speak about. But it is a penalty of 20 years imprisonment. It is a surveillance and monitoring. Okay, so this is what people are doing globally, and I know what's happened to me has been a global espionage situation. I've known it, but I just couldn't prove it or put my finger on it at the time. I just knew something wasn't, I was being targeted, but I didn't know why. Usually the victims know who is targeting them. I mean, it took me a long time to realize. I was like going over my life, okay, who would want to target me? But there were things, I knew that I could, gave people a reason of belief to do what they're doing. But it is a global, okay, so that's even more scary and dangerous if you're targeted. But these people are just looking and then they're just texting each other. So it's basically just putting a case together that the surveillance and the monitoring has caused yourself as an individual a great loss or damage, or maybe somebody has been murdered in the process or something like that, and then you've got a case against whoever is behind it. It's just a matter of putting the evidence together. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to keep this video clip short. It's going to be the same topic about relationship scams and hardcore evidence and denouncing, of course, but yeah, so basically this is what I've gone through historically, okay? This is from my personal experience, what I have witnessed. I'm the victim, so I've always been the victim, okay? From day one, I'm just one of those people that don't act like the victim, but according to the legislation and the things that I have gone through personally, I am 100% the victim. Henry Cavill is a victim in this situation, and other people in my situation, but I'll just go through that. But this is the consequences of relationship scam, the New World Order linking to the my court cases, and also the changes as far as the legislation is concerned. So I'll just carry on. Okay, we're dealing with a lockout situation. Okay. So there's clear evidence since my home invasion and what I've gone through, and everything I've gone through has definitely been a conspiracy upon one single person, publicly and globally, and involving the government. Okay, the starting point obviously from home invasion is privacy breaches. The way the legislation set out, privacy laws doesn't seem to be it's the way the legislation is actually written. From my own discovery personally, it's done where other agencies or coalitions can actually listen to what we're doing, and basically do what they've done to me. Okay, so they basically have made me like eat my words or recall what I say and then do the opposite. I know that they've also studied my background, dug up my past, and then they've gone and build an alliance with everybody that may have committed an offence against me and I haven't told anyone, or they've just connected with people in my past, and for different reasons turns into a hate alliance. So that's what I've gone through personally. They've been recording every single word I've said, so they're quite confident to do what they've done to me, thinking they're gonna get away with it. So I am definitely a survivor of a human trafficking ring by force, and there's sufficient evidence to prove that now. But this is what it's like. They are recording, and then it's brutal, it's inhumane, it's ill will, it's consistent with the public innuendos, the lies, the deception, and so I'm publicly denouncing those for my court cases and for safety reasons, also for myself, and at this stage, at this point in time, Henry Cavill, and also the originals, my own family and stuff. So I'm just gonna just do this until my court cases are finished, and also update everybody where I'm at. I'm just doing everything in the moment as I'm guided to. Okay guys, so we're dealing with unlawful strikes. Okay, that's quite serious stuff. It's when judgments or anything written about you is not true, it's fraud. Okay, so when it's fraud, that's quite serious. and it's serious for the opposing allies, or for the whoever's behind writing the judgment, because it means fraud, that's corruption. And it's serious for me because they want to win and they don't want to get caught out, and this is where it becomes dangerous. So, but the thing is, according to the law, you're either the offender or you are the victim. You cannot be the same. So in my case, the Crown is the offender. So keep in mind, it's espionage, it's global. Okay, it's been quite scary for me sometimes. It was like, because cybercrime and those that are actually personally victimizing victims, they usually serial murderers, and that's like Jack the Ripper. They always go back and finish off what they started, of course, in my case. And I have found that to be the case over and over again. But they are using trafficking of other human beings in my space. They have used the relationship scam, and sometimes the people that are being used as a relationship scam in the beginning, and they may have been just started off innocent, but once they know that what they're doing is wrong and it's a competition, then they're no longer innocent. So now we're up against two warfares going on, them versus me and me versus them. But it is definitely still a global game. Okay, this is consistent with what I witness on television and on TV. Okay, so that they're actually animating, I don't know how else to explain it, except that these people are tipping off each other just by using the devices, just like they are in my environment, trying to act normal, but they're not normal. They're doing the same thing with the misuse of devices, whether it's in their program or movie, but the messages are in there. Okay, so I've been coded. It's been a very long time, but I didn't realize all this was happening until I actually was pushed out of my job, and then I had to do my court case, and everything kind of just like I was enlightened exactly what was going on. All right, so keep in mind, somebody else is making decisions about me. It's a global game. It means every other government agency are watching, also may be involved. I don't know, but it is like a Ponzi scheme involving money, fame, and obviously legal. The government, as far as my court case is concerned. So my court case is still active, and I have found personally that as soon as I submit or send documentations, everyone's tipped off globally about it. So that's quite serious and dangerous, but that is my discovery of what I've gone through. So I have to do this because for the sake of those that are actually watching and monitoring, because they need to hear from me the hardcore truth and what's going on, so then if they need to investigate, they can. All right, guys, so we're going to keep the evidence in the moment, and it's hardcore evidence to use in my criminal case. It's definitely a breach. Also, it's a love triangle, so relationship scam has been used in this case. Okay, so it's been a global one, obviously, and unfortunately, I'm going to go through today of the actual photos of the people involved in my personal space, so everyone else can get an understanding or get enlightened of the tactics. In this case, the opposing allies is the government. I am within my right to defend myself. So what I'm doing is not only self-defense, but it is also for my court cases in the courts. So this is the starting point of my case. A live triangle has taken, historically, people have just taken turns using me. They have invaded my soul, or they dug up my past and tried to study my mind. It's an illegal scientific experiment, what they did to me. Pain and suffering, it's all involved. Torment, emotional torment. It's quite serious. It's very serious. And from the victim's point of view, I have felt like people have ripped my soul out over and over again repetitively, just taking turns. So it's pretty ill will, it's cruel, it's evil, and it's a conspiracy to commit murder after a long period of time because negligence has taken place. And so I'll just carry on. So crimes against humanity, okay, it's willful killing of a person or any other case, and it is life in imprisonment. So what's happened to me is basically just been by the misuse of devices, surveillancing and monitoring. It's quite serious stuff. Okay, it's the pain and suffering is enough to, if you don't understand what you're going through, it's an evil spirit. It's the motive and intent is to drive you to depression, to make you think you're cursed, to drive you to commit suicide, to have anxiety. So if you're not reading your set of circumstances correctly, personally, I'm so glad that God's given me the strength to write everything out and persevere and endure what I've gone through, because now I can honestly prove it's been a global game, an illegal game by secret societies globally, secretly stealing and trafficking innocent civilians without their consent. Okay, so my case is definitely crimes against humanity. Okay, these people are definitely conspiring. They want to kill you, all right? That is what I have felt. And the people that are being substitute, they're the ones that they are on their side. They're trying to kill me so then they can get away with whatever it is they are trying to kill me for. It could be money laundering. Obviously, money's involved. Reputation, but that is the predicament of what I've gone through, and it's definitely a criminal case. They've used me like a hard drive and live off my energy and pretending to be me when they're not. It's the same with Henry and then Natalie Visciso and her imposter boyfriend. I'm still denouncing that. But this is what it actually looks like from my point of view and my personal experience in the moment historically. Okay, so if you see a car, yellow cars coming out, and then they have this trailer, it's very likely you might be targeted to be used for human trafficking, just like me. Okay, but this is what my personal experience, what I've witnessed. I don't know who the heck is doing it, so it is illegal. Okay, so whatever you do, these are the signs that someone may be out to. It's like they're going around trapping, like trap an animal. Okay, these are what these people are doing. They don't have no search warrant. They don't have anything to, give them permission to do what they're doing. It's like they're hunting, like when you go hunt an animal. That is what I felt they've done to me. And these are the kind of signs they come out with, linking to my court cases. Obviously, it's all about money. But yeah, they're basically just treating people like some kind of a stray or an animal. For whatever reason, they're doing it without my consent or anyone's consent. But this is what they're doing. Okay, so I'm an introvert. I'm a private person. Those who knows me personally, my character and everything, I'm a very private person, very private. So I'm not committing any crimes. And just because I'm private and I like solitude and Because of circumstances, I'm forced to be more private as much as possible because I've been used like an app or a product globally, and that's within my right to do that. But other people are interpreting people like myself's situation as, can't connect with real people and all the rest of it. People like to make up things. But this is what it looks like. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you can be as private as you are. But what's happened to me all started with a breach, negligence, and then secret society have taken advantage of the situation and have used me for money laundering and relationship scams, etc. So, topic today is relationship scams, and this is what it looks like. So there's obviously me and Henry, or in the beginning it was Pastor King and myself, but we weren't in anything like that, like how I am with Henry. The situation is completely different back then. Okay, so these are all the things these people do. It's a negative alliance. They're gonna kill. Like, their intent is to kill. So it's conspiracy to commit murder. Okay, it's a one-way alliance. These are all the signs. It's manslaughter or homicide, but there's sufficient evidence there to prove conspiracy to commit murder. Okay, guys, so it is a relationship scam, okay, but we're dealing with an individual. So I'm the individual, I'm the victim, and now there's sufficient evidence in my personal property, which is my, profile, everything to do with me as an individual. These kind of things exactly is what I've gone through, like September 11th, but it's indirect, it's premeditated, they let the dust settle and then they attack. But in the process, all kinds of very serious organised crimes have taken place, and they've conspired to try and murder me, or they've tried to make me kill myself. But this is what it's called silent death. It also means that there are other people within the original's personal life. They may be all linked to this and may be murdered, disappear, or they may be part of the conspiracy and have gained personally and is on the run or in hiding. Okay, so it's an indirect, everything's done premeditated in advance for the purpose of, to let those who've committed serious crime get away from being made accountable. So if you've been watching my last video clip, we were talking about Eko Haronga and Dan Brady. Okay, so these two were the couples using my situation while I was working with MOJ. This is Dan Brady. I believe in the beginning he's innocent. Okay, from my point of view, I would side with him at that point of time at work. He did nothing wrong as far as I was concerned. In fact, I tried to warn him, but there's sufficient evidence there to actually clear him of anything, even though he signed the document. It was just the way the system was. It's like, for those that don't know how it was actually working, I think they vote people out, and I think that's what's actually happened. But then they're using different people for different things, and this is where innocent people can be used without their consent. The same thing good example also for the unlawful judgments. They may be unlawful, and the judges have to prove is that it may be the registrar's fault, the court, because they're just separate entities. But this here is Dan Brady, and he's been used in what I've gone through. There are other video clips on this too. Okay, so and this here is Eko Haronga. She's been used too. I was working within my environment at work. We used to be a court registrar together. Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm just trying to think while I'm talking. She was a police prosecutor and I was a court registrar in court. I actually showed that on my last video clip. I'll just actually go in there. Okay, this here is a video clip that I showed you on the last video clip yesterday. Her name is actually in my diary. This is just a clip of me going on evidence, reading out what's going on in my diary and who I, was.
So here we have got a judge alone. This is a judge alone day. What a court registrar does. And usually a court registrar is always in the same boat with the judge, because that's our responsibilities to make sure the judge doesn't get it wrong.
Okay, so I'll put a link on this clip, so you can all go have a look. There's like 3 episodes, and this is actually my diary and me taking note, and it's just evidence and proof that I was the court registrar in my court at that point of time, and she was the police prosecutor. But this is what was one of the relationship scams that alliances were participating in, but they are also linked from the other alliances. Basically, they've all just taken turns. But I'll put the link to this video clip. There's 3 of them, but her name is in there. This is who I'm identifying as Iko Haronga. The Indians and all the other extremists have actually used her name. So, but it's been global. Okay, so I don't know if you realize that they were going to do what they did historically, but they've used her name and have used her, or people in her space on her side have cybercrime me on her behalf. But I'm just giving you an idea of what they are actually doing with the relationship scam, which is 100% illegal. Okay, so I'm talking about this person here. She's Tongan. Okay, so but it's an illegal commonwealth, which makes it really serious for everyone. Okay, because everybody global is all clinging on to an alliance. Okay, an alliance. This is what they're doing. This is the most inhumane conspiracy on the face of the earth. I'm a survivor of it, and this is my pure evidence for my criminal case. So this is that person there I'm talking about. Okay, guys, this is the other person. This is Rob Osborne. We work together. I've already spoken about him in other video clips. And so he's connected to the Asian female. We knew each other for like 9 years. But yeah, he is the other person behind the alliances. Okay. And he's connected to the Asian female. But what I'm trying to say is these female, they're actually representative of a commonwealth, and the commonwealth has been a personal one against me. So anything to do with your love life, obviously it's personal. And yeah, but they're using the relationship scam. We're no longer friends anymore. Well, we've just gone separate ways because of the situation, and that's just the way it is at the moment. Okay, guys, this is Pastor King. Okay, so he's the one I'm talking about in regards to Moana, but he is the victim. Okay, he's not. People had made me out to be the mistress, and then I got cybercrime, but the reality was Moana, she's co-Asian, they ganged up on me. Like I said, the victim knows who is the conspirators or who is the perpetrators, and definitely the co-Asian has come in my personal space when I've been by myself in my court cases, or like just in the situations, incidents that occurred in the moment. But this is what the result of what the secret societies are actually doing. They've all used me for trafficking ring and obviously for relationship scams. She is from Church of Christ, New Zealand. Everybody will know her. I actually was a member at Church of Christ since I was 10 or 11 years old. So I am actually well known. People will mostly know me, or either or, because I was brought up in church. My name was Mina Christian until I got married as Mina Noema. So the church itself was grounded for maybe 60 years now. It's a massive church. It's a big branch, one in Japan, one in Manuera, one in Glen Eden, and one in Mount Roskill. So everybody does know me. So I grew up in there, and I grew up under Pastor King's ministry. I'm not really a stranger, but I don't actually belong to any church at the moment for quite a while, because circumstance has been out of my control, and obviously because of my court cases, and that's my situation at the moment. Okay, so this is Henry Cavill and myself. That's the most current, recent one. Okay, so we are actually still together, guys. So I'm denouncing Natalie Vasquiso and her lies. There's gossip and rumour going on that he's getting engaged. One way or another, I know I'm going to find out the truth, and the public's going to find out the truth, because it's a public interest case involving fraud, conspiracy, and all kinds of very serious, culpable crimes and offences. So I am definitely denouncing Natalie Vasquiso, and there's rumours go out there that he's getting married to her and all these things. He's seeing the baby. He does not have anything to do with her since he got sick. Okay, so Henry is not with anybody. He's not on social media. He's not talking to anyone privately outside his bubble except me. All right. So anything that has been leaked to the public, they're obviously listening to me. He keeps saying it's my end. Like I'm saying, did you talk to this? It's out in public. And he goes, no. He gets frustrated. He hates it. That is the one thing that makes him angry at me, is because I'm talking about the public lies and deception, but it's important for me to know whether it's true or not. Otherwise, I would be apologizing to the public if I felt he was lying to me. Okay, because this is very serious. Like I said, the truth on the public has to be equivalent to my private life, and I will not be standing by Henry if I felt he was lying to me. So we've been having conversation. We talk all the time. We're still together, everyone. So no, he is not in a relationship with any other woman. So I'm denouncing all that as his real life relationship. Okay. And I'm standing by him. Okay, so we have had this argument that he gets angry with me. He hates anything to do with public. Okay, anything to do with public lies and all these women lusting after him and trying to seduce him and hitting on him. He's an innocent person. He hates that kind of thing, and he gets really angry at me. That's one of my weaknesses, is dealing with the public lies. But these men and women are being groomed by other rich, powerful men and women who hates both of us, or doesn't like the idea of our friendship or our relationship, which is actually none of their business. Okay, but I am denouncing that today. In fact, I know I always like to confirm things with Henry first before I go public. Because this is a very serious criminal case, and I'm a witness to it, and I have no intention of, allowing these conspirators who are groomed by other conspirators. It is an alliance linking to my court case. Okay, so one way or another, we're all going to find out who is actually telling the truth. Henry does not have anything to do with Natalie Vasquiso at any point of time since he got sick. He's been sick going back as far as March, I think, from top of my head. And he is only talking to me. He doesn't have a secret lover or anything like that, so you can hear it from me. And sooner or later, I know we will all find out the truth. But he has no intentions of doing acting or anything like that at this point in time, because he's still in recovery. He's doing well, but he's not in recovery to be even out in public pretending to be working. So there's people out there actually pretending that he's actually working. Excuse me. And then we have the tarot readers, making their predictions and whatever. But that's a criminal tactic as far as I'm concerned. Okay, it's actually no one's business unless Henry's actually given them consent to do what they're doing. He hasn't. But it is a relationship scam. Okay, so how it works is that somebody there's a coalition of rich people, and they're actually using the original's family and friends. Okay, so they are all kind of like joining forces, and then we've got all the family and friends kind of like conspiring or talking and kind of just all participating, trying to stop something from happening, yet the originals haven't given them permission to do so. But that's what's actually happened, and then innocent civilians are actually pulled into something. They have no idea what's involved. Okay, obviously that's what's happened with church. I used to just go to church, sit down, mind my own business, and on the surface, people were damaging my reputation by digging up my past and pretending to be me. So I guess that's the case here too. So I am denouncing that. Henry hasn't even seen the baby. Everything I say is true. If I felt Henry was lying, I wouldn't be supporting that, because I don't support deceit and deception. Okay, but he is not mingling. He out in public. He's not working. He's not even well enough to work yet. Okay, he's had 3 major operations. He's not ready for anything like that. The stress he can't cope with that kind of stress. He's not with Natalie. He has no intentions to be with Natalie in the future. We're just taking one day at a time with everything at the moment. But at this point in time, as far as the baby's concerned, his idea, if he wants to find out if it's his baby or not, he won't be finding out. He won't find out anything without me at this point in time. Okay, so really it's my word against the opposing allies who are actually linked to the government, and they are actually inciting using their job in regards to me. The alliances, the negative alliances, are conspiring to murder me. Okay, so this is why I have to do what I'm doing. So I am denouncing all that. Okay, it's linking to the unlawful strikes, and it's linking, it's a global game and it's illegal. Okay, so that is the truth about Natalie Visciso and Henry's imposter. So there is somebody imposturing him. And as far as Amy Denton putting out her rubbish out in public media saying she's having sex with him every day, blah, 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 you can be done for conspiracy too. That's illegal what you are doing. And I'm telling you, you guys are on the wrong path. I'm denouncing everything what you're saying. So it's not true. He is not seeing any other women secretly. He's only talking to me, and it's been like that for a while. I know that it's been dangerous for me because in my environment, it's a left behind case, and the people that I go to do my applications or whatever are linked straight. It's linked straight to this negative alliance who's linked to all these other women. I mean, that is not fair. That is serious. But my case is definitely 100% a conspiracy to commit murder, because these people are in my space letting me know. Okay? So that is a dangerous thing. And I am the victim I'm not, they're in my space, and I'm within my right to defend myself and defend Henry. He is not working, guys. Sooner or later, we will all find out the truth from Henry himself. But the thing is, these women, there's people in hierarchy, they're powerful people. It's out of my control, but I'm still within my right to protect me, okay? And protect everybody else that believes in me, okay? And I'm dealing with my personal property at court, the unlawful strikes. I have actually not giving up. I'm using the system, so I'm going to keep everything in the moment for everyone that is watching, because it's definitely now a global public court case. So now, guys, my case definitely is body corporate conspiracy to commit crime. All right, so I'm keeping everything in the moment because there's sufficient evidence there. His mum got set up. I know I've mentioned this before. She got robbed, and Henry's got robbed too in the situation. So everything's premeditated and calculated. So in the real world of Henry Cavill and Minnie Crichton, we are actually the original. Everybody else that's deceiving the public are conspirators. Okay, but this is the rich man's game. Okay, it's evil. They're using innocent civilians to work through. Okay, and we know that the rich man's culture, most of them, okay, they have maids, they use their money to do the talk, they use their money to do everything. Well, I do everything myself, so it's actually easy for me to actually detect whether that person is natural or not natural. Okay, I have a bit of more experience because of my background. Okay, so I have the best of both worlds. And so I do know what I'm talking about. So, but this is the New World Order linking to very powerful people using their money, using their position, and then they're inciting on social media. That is so unfair. But I can take this whole thing going back when I was sitting at a Church of Christ. Everything makes sense to me now. So I will keep doing this. I am denouncing. Henry Cavill is not dating anybody. He's not seeing anybody secretly. And so I'm denouncing all that. They've used his family. They've used my family, who is like they're not. Like, I'm not really in communication. Well, I am and not, because of my court cases and obviously of how serious everything is. So I'll just keep denouncing things as they happen. Okay, guys, like I said, we have that. I'm just going to hang on a moment. Okay, guys, so what's going on here? Everyone is trading in influence, okay? So I've had to go public because I've needed public intervention, because it's also a public game, okay? So this is, I know I'm supposed to do this. This is the reason why people get executed, okay? Innocent civilians get executed. They don't even know that they're actually targeted. But it's easy to do, okay? So, these are the kind of things that is very, 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 very serious. Okay, guys, so all these conspirators, these women, they are the conspirators, okay? So these people, they're not only animating me, they're also animating the original. They're animating my family, okay? They're using their names. And then they're pretending to be them. Okay, this is what they're doing. This is what I witness on the radio. This is what I witness on social media, on TV. This is what they're pinning down the originals, and then they're pretending to be them. They're doing exactly what they're doing to Henry and what they're doing to me. Okay, this is what they're doing globally. That's pretty serious. Okay, but anything negative, it comes under conspiring to bring false accusation on a person. Okay, so that's what unlawful strikes is. They're false, they're fake. But they've used me like a sport to actually eliminate a specific individual, a specific group. Okay, so this is the real hardcore evidence, everyone. This is what's on my heart today. My case definitely falls in a conspiracy to commit murder. So I'm just going to look at this law here. Consent to death. Okay, so I don't know. I have a reason to believe that I know they want me dead. Okay, they want Henry dead too, obviously, because there's evidence of that, because he's the original. And then all these coalitions, all these cultures, I don't know what they want to call it, but if you conspire to kill a human being, that's serious charges. Okay. And even like they have that injection now where they can inject. Hang on, let's see if I can find it on this, Yeah, I just like to kind of point at what I'm talking to while I'm talking to you. See if that'll come up. Just hang on a moment. See, conspiracy to commit murder used to be the death penalty. Okay, it's treason. Okay, and this is going back in 1989. So there's a lot of people that should be dead for doing what they're doing to me, because I'm definitely 100% innocent. Okay, so that's according to the law and also according to God spiritually. So I'm just going to go. So even though they consent somebody to, like, whether it's a coalition voting for someone who's going to die, whether the substitute's going to die or I'm going to die, the original, that's to put it in plain English. Okay, so, and they're listening to me, and yes, I've reacted by anger and I've sworn. I'm only human, but who wouldn't if this has been going on for 2008? Okay, because I know somebody's trying to kill me, and I've done everything. I've exhausted the system. I'm innocent. They're in my space conspiring all the time. I'm trying to go forward the honest way, only for other people to steal it. I mean, that's serious, okay? But it's quite clear that whoever's behind it wants me dead. And so they've all consented for me to die, okay? So, but against the law, apparently to the law, it's illegal. You can't consent to someone to die. Whether it's a coalition, whether it's a specific group voting for someone to die. You will all go to prison for being part of that. And I'm going to make sure of it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it's wrong. So it says right here, this is a law, consent to death. No one has a right to consent to the infliction of a death upon himself or herself. And if any person is killed, the fact that he or she gave any such consent shall not affect the criminal responsibility of any person who is party to a killing. Okay, so this confirms even if the person says, okay, I'll go kill myself, this is when they use that injection, they can still be made accountable. Those doctors who kill a person who consented, like a coalition has obviously consented for me to die or for Henry to die. That's why they poisoned us, injected us, obviously. This is the hardcore evidence of what's actually happening. Okay, they're doing pet projects, they call it. And then all different states vote who dies, whether the conspirators who are the substitutes, all right, living off other people's money, living off other people's hard work, living off the original, they wouldn't get in the door any other way but that way. That's shameful on yous. But this is the truth of the matter from my point of view. I have not consented to anything. Okay, so everything is proven after the fact. So the crimes, the offences has already committed. So there's sufficient evidence to bring corporate bodies to very serious criminal cases. Okay. Mens rea, they're already guilty, and it can already be proven. It is called the robot system, and that is what they've done to me. I am not a robot, okay? So that's why I'm making it happen. And the funny thing is, well, it's actually not funny, because nothing about criminal anything is funny. Felony, the reason why they all want me dead is because people have actually committed some pretty serious crimes involving myself. Okay, so felony is a crime. So for organised crime to actually happen, there has to be aiding, baiting, somebody doing counsel, encouraging it, and then the criminal pact, accessory. So if people are actually doing indirect coding, sorry, but you're the conspirator, okay? Because that's not natural. You're provoking a reaction. You are, a perpetrator of the heinous hate crimes. You're sowing seeds of discord. You're inciting. So yes, you are the perpetrator if you're behind it. Okay, guys. So, it's coming back. This is who I was talking about, Moana. Okay. I have seen her myself. She came and sat in front of me with her mother in a prayer meeting. Okay. And I know exactly who is linked to her. I do know. They know I know. But they're all behind this conspiracy. And that's why it's important for everything about my personal property to be undone and make it a criminal public case. All right. So I'll keep you all guys up to date. So any form of sabotage, like, they are rejecting me intentionally. They're sabotaging everything. Their motive and intent is actually to dismantle of a human being. So all the crimes in the Crimes Act falls in my case. Sabotage, twin and switch. So there's only one that is the victim, and then there's one that is the offender. And sabotage can come in many methods, many ways. You just need to prove it, and I can definitely do that. So basically, I'm using all my senses here, my ears, my eyes, my lips, my nose, my hands. This is all mine, okay? It's all about me. It is a personal, human trafficking in persons is a personal vendetta. So I'm the victim of crimes actually describing the incidents and the things that are actually happening in the moment, making my evidence hardcore truth versus the opposing allies and the substitutes. So that's what I'm up against. But all these are all part of learning how to discern, to ascertain good and evil, okay? And just learning how to make the right decisions at the right time. And so it's just all the five senses is what I've had to rely on. Besides, also, obviously, I'm a godly woman and I do believe in God, okay? Always will until I die. But yeah, okay, this is the real Henry. This is what he actually looks like. He's actually lost a lot of weight. I've got other photos, but he's actually lost a lot of weight. He doesn't look like the Henry on him that's actually imposturing him. It's actually quite scary that people can actually imposter you, but it is still fraud, guys. So this is the situation of him and I, okay? I still believe to this day what we have gone through. I've had confirmation before it actually happened. What I mean is before I actually met Henry, I already had confirmation that all this was going to happen, and then it has happened. And, I didn't know when or how, but I just knew that it was going to be part of my journey. And it's not until I'm actually in it and going through it, and then I realize why God has ordained my footsteps for me. Okay, this is for me. Okay, I know a lot of people, everyone has their own belief, and I'm entitled to my own belief, and I'm sticking to my own belief. But this is the situation also with Pastor King and myself. They ruined my reputation, making me out to be the mistress, while the real one actually tried to kill me. Okay, but then it turned into a global. So this is what I've gone through personally as a innocent civilian. I'm vulnerable. I'm not perfect. There are times I do get scared because I'm only human, because there's a home invasion going on in my personal space and I can't do anything about it. So this is how we now have unlawful strikes to deal with. So my cases are not over yet, but I'll keep everybody in the moment. I will keep using social media, to denounce the what's going on, and I'm quite sure sooner or later God will reveal the truth. But I'm going to be continuing on denouncing all other women. I know these coalitions, you don't have the right to play God on anybody's life. I guess that's the moral of what I'm trying to say, is that no one has the right is to play God, choose who can be who with who. That is none of your business, okay, unless that person has given you permission. I haven't given anyone permission, and I know Henry hasn't given anyone permission, but this is the new world order affecting everybody. So I'll just leave it at that, guys, and I'm sorry I've gone on too long, but I'm quite sure you'll all find the information relevant and true. Everything I'm saying is real. My court cases is real. I will keep everything in the moment. I've just recently submitted more documents opposing the New Zealand police case. All right. So and quite quickly and clearly I found out, just from watching social media, I can tell exactly what's going on, that somebody, nothing is private. They're reading my texts. But the fact that my case is being secretly exploited globally, that's serious. From any criminal judge or any criminal barrister, that is serious, and they need to fix it. They need to fix the problem. Obviously, privacy is important to any case to get a fair hearing. So I'll just leave it at that, and so I'll continue with updating news as time moves on.